Articulation Radio. Articulation. Salutations! Welcome to another exciting episode of Articulation Radio. I am your hostess, the eternally grateful Goddess Sage. You know how we do things here at Articulation Radio. We will kick off the top of the day's episode by taking a quick glance at the news headlines. And today's news segment is sponsored by bepublished.org.
These are three of the news headlines and events I saw today, Thursday, March 11th, 2021, when visiting EliteValuesNews.com on your behalf. Egypt and Sudan sign military cooperation agreement. Turkish government strongly criticized northern Iraq's Kurdish regional government about a stamp. And today is National Debunking Day, National Popcorn Lovers Day, National Dream Day, and World Kidney Day, among a list of other observances and holidays during this 24-hour span. As you know, so much happens in this world of ours, and so much goes into our making sure we keep you abreast of as much as possible. So be sure to head on over to EliteValuesNews.com any hour on the hour to check out the news headlines in any category. We have various categories. We cover as much as possible for you, and our headlines constantly change. You know, again, so much happens in this world, so we got to change with it, right? Check us out right now. And as a matter of fact, again, every hour on the hour, EliteValuesNews.com. I'm Joaquin Mann reporting live for you.
Looking to get the latest news? Visit Elite Values. EliteValuesNews.com has all the latest news and information. Check out the headlines daily. EliteValuesNews.com for all of your latest news.
Do you want to be published? Are you looking for a high-quality, low-cost way to be published with a fast turnaround? Visit bepublished.org to publish today. www.bepublished.org. bepublished.org. Publish today. Books, movies, and music.
Listeners, we love you, we hear you, and I am definitely happy to be here with you today on another spectacular episode of Articulation Radio, baby. This episode will be mostly talk, but I will squeeze in a couple of songs for you, so hang tight, babe.
ArtistReview.com. All artists need a platform. The Artist Review makes sure you have the one you need to put your work in front of your fans. ArtistReview.com. Artist, REVUE.com.
I don't want nobody always sitting around me and my man. I don't want nobody always
He's all right with me every once in a while. Yeah. But oh, when me and that man get to love, I tell you, girl, I dig you, but I just don't have time, Lord, to sit and chit and sit and chit chat and smile. So don't send me no doctor. It's filling me up with all of those pills. Got me a man named Dr. Feelgood. And oh, yeah, that man takes care of all of my pains and my ills. His name is Dr. Feelgood in the morning time. Yeah. And taking care of business is really this man's game. And after one visit to Dr. Feelgood, you will understand why Feelgood is his name. Oh, yeah. Oh, good God Almighty, the man sure makes me feel real good. Oh.
PeopleWarmer.com. Book your travel today. PeopleWarmer.com for wherever you want to stay. PeopleWarmer.com, wherever you want to play.
You have a product, let them help you increase sales. You have a video, let them help you make it go viral. PeopleWarmers.com. PeopleWarmers.com.
This Buzz News episode of Articulation Radio was kicked off with Love is a Serious Business that Dr. Feelgood covered by yours truly, Goddess Sage. And you are also going to hear Erica Johnson's Mr. Magic before the close of this show. But I will be, of course, talking to the world-class magician, Mr. Bill Peterson. And that's why we have titled this episode, Making Moments Magical. Because during this interview, you will not only learn about his new magic show and how you can book him privately for you and your crew, or even your organization, your school, your company, whatever, through his website, an eveningofcloseupmagic.com. So head over there right now, an eveningofcloseupmagic.com. But you will also be able to hear the trick that he plays at the end of the interview. And as a matter of fact, when you're on his website, you can put in the /articulation radio. So an eveningofcloseupmagic.com/articulation radio. And then that way you can see whether he actually got it right. All right. But let me be sure to tell you before I, roll with naturally the info from our sponsors. Of course, since this is one of the special episodes, the first one for 2021, the first one for, first quarter one. But anyway, this is, for this episode, I want to be sure to share with you, yes, number one, some tips on how you can make moments magical in your life. And I would say pretty much just to keep it simple. Number one, go for what you believe is impossible. Number two, do what needs to be done to move you toward accomplishing those things. Don't just want it. Don't just name it and claim it and expect for it to become something that is a part of your life. No, make the active effort to do it. And number three, take a chance on yourself. Believe in yourself enough to be willing to fail. Just like you want to chase the success, be willing to go through the failure too, because after all, what is success without being able to know that, yes, you could have failed, or even that you did fail, but that you still persevered and then came right back and made it happen. And that'll make it all the sweeter. So, and number four, just be resilient, don't give up for any reason. And of course, yes, finally, to let you all know, of course, the tradition, got to let you know what it is that I'm sipping on during this special episode. I am sipping on another house mixture. And this one here has Shiraz, Merlot, Moscato, it also has some coconut rum as well as some pineapple whiskey. And, naturally I have my ice cubes in it, so there you go. But I'm about to go ahead and roll with the messages from our sponsors. And then I am going to bring on that interview with the magician, Bill Peterson, so that way you can see, you definitely want to jump on and book him for you and your crew. So head on over again to that website, aneveningofcloseupmagic.com, and hang tight.
Have you always wanted to start a business but can't seem to get it off the ground? Need help building a website? Contact The Conglomerate 972-880-8316 or visit theconglomerate.work. TheConglomerate.work. Theconglomerate.work 972-880-8316. Start your new business today.
You are listening to Articulation Radio. Head on over to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts.
Phone lines are open right now at Articulation Radio. Call 312-899-6237. That's 312-899-6237.
Do you frequently shop online and you're looking for a new place to shop? Join the club, jeffersontaylor.club, where models, designers, inventors, and other creators offer customers the best products at fair prices. Jefferson Taylor, jeffersontaylor.club. Join the club. Shop today, jeffersontaylor.club.
Want to buy stocks, jewels, real estate, or other high-end items? Would you love to be able to contribute to charitable initiatives but cannot do these things with the money you currently have? Join Regal City Investment and Social Club, where you can pool money each month with other investors to make major purchases, give to the needy, and possibly turn a profit. www.regalcity.xyz. Become a Regal citizen today by joining Regal City Investment and Social Club. regalcity.xyz.
Articulation Radio is extremely proud to have on the line with us today people. Someone who's not only magnificent, someone who's not only monumental, but someone who's magical. And I'm not just saying that, baby. He really is. I'm talking to the magician, Mr. Bill Peterson. We have him on the line. Bill, how's everything going your way in Magic Land?
Everything's great. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. And I hear it. Now, you can hear anything, people. And so we want to, of course, find out all about this great offering that you have. I hear that you have a world-class magic show that people can stream live anytime. And so, and I know your website is aneveningofcloseupmagic.com. But tell people real quickly, how long have you been at this magic game? What even sparked your interest in magic?
Well, as a kid, I've always been interested in magic as a little boy, and the problem was you'd get a magic kit, and it wasn't really impressive. Your parents would see the foam rabbits or the little plastic toy boxes and be like, yeah. And it wasn't until I was 21 that I met another magician, an older gentleman, and told him I wanted to learn real magic, something that would really, shock adults. And he taught me my first magic trick. I took the magician's oath, and I started traveling all over from Florida, California, New York, Las Vegas, Texas, and Canada, learning the most powerful effects and strongest routines in magic, and 20 years later, here I am.
Beautiful. And that's definitely intriguing when you say some of the most powerful tricks in magic. And I did take note of when you said that you wanted to learn real magic, something that would capture the attention of adults. And now tell us, how long have you been at it at the level that you're at now? How long have you been doing your live shows or your streaming magic shows?
Well, I've been doing a lot of corporate magic over the last 5 years or so. Prior to that, I was traveling around learning magic, practicing magic, but also keeping it a secret. So there was a lot of people in my family and friends, my inner circle, that didn't even know that I was learning and doing magic. And only until I got comfortably good at it did I release it onto the world. So.
And so how many years would you say that's been? How many years have you been at it?
It's been
as far
about
as
5
this
years. It's been about 5 years that I've been doing corporate events, fundraisers.
Okay. And now what would you say is like, since you've been around, you've been in various different milieux doing your thing, what would you say is kind of the biggest shock that you've come across? Like, what is the thing that you kind of heard or seen people do and say that really surprised you, whether it was the way they reacted to a trick of yours, or whether it was just, in general, something that you've actually seen take place while you're on stage? What has been the biggest surprise for you?
Well, if when you're traveling around, I of course live on the east coast of Canada, and there's not a lot of people that have experienced magic. So unlike places like New York or Florida, where magic is quite prevalent, or in Las Vegas, the east coast of Canada and even the rest of Canada, a lot of people have never experienced magic. They've seen it on America's Got Talent, Penn and Teller Fool Us, but they've never experienced it for themselves. And I think the biggest surprise is just how fun and exciting it is to actually participate in magic, not just watch it.
Yes. And I'm sure even some of the listeners here of Articulation Radio are just like, you know what? Yes, because I'm sure that there are some who we've all seen, on the TV shows, or even at some of the magic acts that we've been able to attend, where, there's this person who's either the magician's assistant, or, there is someone who's pulled out of the audience, or, who volunteers, from out of the audience. And a lot of times people are like, hey, I wish it were me. I would love to have the chance to participate. And I know at your shows, people will definitely have more of an opportunity to be able to be up front and center stage, if you will, especially being that, of course, you're offering these shows where they can live stream them there in the safety of their home. And now, is there a subscription? Do they need to pay to access these shows via your website and eveningofcloseupmagic.com? What steps do they need to take to partake in the great offerings that you have?
Well, I only do a few public shows a year. Most of my shows, I do both walk-around magic as well as stage shows, and now also virtual shows. These shows are typically based on ticket sales, so I may offer a show and then they would have to go onto my website and buy a ticket, or they would hire me privately. So lots of companies hire me to do both walk-around magic and stage shows during Christmas parties. Now the companies are hiring me to do virtual magic at corporate events. And even private residents. Just last month, I had people in New York hire me. It was his 44th birthday, and it was just a nice family dinner, and they wanted entertainment, and they had hired me to show some magic. So.
Wow. So some of any and everybody have options. And with your standing shows that people can always book you for, your walk-around shows, how much advance notice would you need for any of your show appearances? Say there's a company here in Chicago, or a company, in New Mexico or wherever would want to hire you. How much advance notice would you need?
To be honest, because it's virtual magic that I'm doing mostly now, because of the pandemic, it's literally 24-hour notice. So literally somebody could say, now of course that rarely happens. Typically, people will book a week or even months in advance, because, they plan out these kind of events. But
Right.
literally, I would only need 24 hours to be able to put on these shows. I recently launched
Wow.
shows for schools, and I sent out an email. School got back to me and said, can you do it next week? So this Thursday and Friday, I'm doing magic for 400 students in schools, and you just go with it. So.
Yeah, that's cool right there. That's cool, and that's a great idea too. To be sure that the kids are engaged, because of course, times like these, everybody needs some kind of outlet. Not only those of us who are expressionists, but also those people who enjoy it from the end user perspective. So it's always great for people to have some kind of way of being entertained, being able to tap in and find something to be joyous about, something to, laugh out loud about, because, of course, we all know the healing that there is in laughter and the healing that there is in joy, which, of course, leads me to my next question for you. Tell me about, or even tell the listeners about a time when you've seen the effect of your magic, the positive effect, change someone's life or brighten someone's day. And I'm sure you probably have a lot of examples of those. So I would say, just tell us about the first time you saw that what you're doing is bigger than entertainment, that it really is touching souls and helping to heal lives.
Well, it's ironically, I see it all the time. You have some people that love magic and they embrace it right away. And then you have the skeptics, people who, aren't really sure what to think about it and are kind of on the fence or hesitant to participate. And lo and behold, once I interact with them and they start experiencing the feeling of magic, they open up to it and instantly transform into a raving fan. So it's really those people. I mean, the people that love magic, they're extremely excited to see it and engage in it. And it's the people that the biggest transformation comes from, the people that are a little hesitant or apprehensive about participating, and then they become raving fans and are extremely excited like the others. So I would say that's the biggest transformation that you see in people.
And what about not just the little kids, because I was going to say, the little kids who are listening, that are like, I would love to be a magician, but not just the little kids, even the adults who are like, I used to want to do that and I never pursued it, or, hey, that'll be fun. I have downtime now. I should pick that up and learn it. What would you say to kind of encourage anyone at any age who has an interest in magic? What would you say to kind of push them along?
Well, again, you're in control of it. So, you can go online and learn magic on YouTube. But I like to say that, magic is a presentation. So just like everybody knows a joke, but not everybody's a comedian. So you can learn a trick, but it doesn't make you a magician. A magician is really the performance part of it, and it transforms a trick into magic. Magic's the feeling you give to people when you show them that trick. And but anyone can do it with practice, but you're really in control of it. I mean, you can actually learn magic in your own private time like I did, and only show people that you're comfortable showing. You don't have to put yourself out there with 150 people on a stage at a corporate event. You can do it just for fun, just to share the fascination and the feeling of magic with others that are close to you.
Yes. And for those who are like, I just think that it's totally wrong for you to even do magic, and I think that Sage is wrong to even be interviewing you about magic. I think that magic is wrong. I think magic is evil. magic is bad, boo magic. For those people who live in that world, what would you kind of say to help them see the beauty and love and goodness and joy that is in magic, and to be a little bit more receptive?
Well, again, most magicians will admit that magic is entertainment, just like actors in a movie, just like those types of things. One of the biggest things that magicians are typically against is taking money in exchange for false hope. So I know it's very popular for mediums to try and talk to the dead, and they'll take people's money in hopes of making perhaps an artificial connection with somebody. And magicians don't do that. Magicians actually openly say, I'm going to perform tricks that hopefully you'll be embracing and enjoying as something pleasurable. So instead of it being, it's not, it's not sorcery, it's trickery.
Right.
It's using your senses to get the better of you and give you a pleasant surprise.
Yes. So people, don't, I would say, don't look at it as something, that's sorcery. Just accept it for what it is. It's just an illusion,
Right.
And if anything, and truth be told too, we know some people just don't like not knowing all the answers. And listeners, let's go ahead and do a little bit of introspection, because we know that there are some of you who don't like it when you don't know all the answers, and you really feel like, okay, they've just deceived me, by not doing that, or, hey, with them doing this little thing or that little thing, it's not. So for those listeners who feel like they have to always have the answers, because I had to go through this myself, not it as it related to magic, but just life in general, and I'm sure probably a lot of other people have had to too, where, you're so used to questioning things and, waiting until you get an answer before you move forward with things. And quite frankly, a lot of times that will keep you from enjoying something that you were blessed to be able to have, but you're keeping yourself from being able to indulge in it because you're all suspicious of it, or, waiting until you get the whole answer for the end instead of just enjoying the experience and then realizing the answer at the end. For those people who kind of have that goddess sage, ruin it for yourself tendency by questioning things a million times, how do you, I would say, get them to kind of relax enough to even begin to enjoy a show and quit trying to scrutinize everything and quit trying to ask a million questions? Just let things be and have fun.
Yeah, well, you see it all the time, and you have people that are just like you said, but I want you to imagine for a moment you knew the punchline to every joke. How fun would it be to listen to comedy? Well, it wouldn't. Comedy is an art. It's a performance art, and your need to know, well, if it was comedy and you knew the answer, you wouldn't find it very funny. And magic is the same. It is meant to be entertainment. It is meant to be fun. And if you knew how it was done, it wouldn't be as fun, just like the jokes wouldn't be as funny.
So true. So true. People, you want an evening of close-up magic with Bill Peterson. You have to go in and get this evening of close-up magic. So head over to that website, aneveningofcloseupmagic.com, and everything is spelled out. Aneveningofcloseupmagic.com. And remember now, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. I know that, yes, it would be great for you to have this access for you and your group of friends, you and your family for your next birthday celebration, or even you and your love, for when you all are having your anniversary, whatever. But remember, he also has a program special for the kids as well, and you can even have it to where as a special treat for the class that your child is in. you can have it to where you go ahead and secure this show for them, because of course we know it's a lot with everybody also still social distancing, still wearing the mask. Some people have gone back to school. Some are still doing the at-home learning. And so we want to be sure that at least wherever, and for those who are back at school, you know, a lot of them won't be doing that traditional stuff. You know, it won't be a spring break. It won't be the same way. So I think that this will be a great little reward for the young scholars to make sure that they know that, yes, you know, we want to keep them encouraged. We want to be sure that they are doing what they need to do in order to move forward, but also by giving them a little bit of something else to keep them encouraged, keep them positive, and to keep them entertained. And that'll furthermore have it to where they're like, you know what, I do need to keep up this good work because mom and dad sent a magician to the school, or, you know, my class was able to, you know, have it to where we all watched this magic show all because of what my parents did. So, you know, definitely let the kids know that you're willing to help them out any kind of way you can, and have it to where you assure that you book this show, you know, not just for your small group, but share it with the kids, because he even has deals, as you know, where he's able to come out have it to where, since everything is virtual now, you know, they can have access to it much quicker. So even if you're like, oh, well, you know, we don't have enough time, hey, he's already let you know in 24 hours after being booked, he can have it to where you all have access to that stream. So don't let anything stand in your way. Now, Bill, what is there that, like, since you've been doing magic, because you started as a kid, and then you, of course, you know, kept at it, and then, of course, you got on this whole new level when you met someone who was able to, you know, teach you some new things, and then you, of course, have developed new strategies on your own. Earlier, you had mentioned, you know, shows like, you know, the popular ones that are on TV and, you know, other big names that people have heard during the past. Have you ever thought about having it to where you do a tour, or have you done a tour or had a standing place where people could come to see you in the past? And if so, tell us about that. And if not, let us know whether that's something you're considering for the future.
Well, tours are very difficult, especially now. I mean, now that the pandemic has hit, we're in it for the long haul. Live shows are very, very difficult now. And tours are something that you really have to become popular to draw a huge crowd everywhere you go. Locally, I travel all over Atlantic Canada. I've been known throughout the corporate community for entertainment. You know, I did the Top 50 CEO Awards, both live and virtual. And so I'm well known in the corporate world for entertainment, as well as fundraisers and stuff like that. So to get the word out, you know, I do these types of shows as opposed to public shows where you have to front the money and, you know, try and get people to come to your show. It's a lot easier when people are demanding your service and want you to come to their event and entertain.
And plus, these seem better anyway, because everybody's a front row seat. You know, we're all VIP at these. You know, there is no bad room, no bad seat in the house, you know, when it comes down to an evening of close-up magic with you. So this is perfect. This is perfect. And people, and again, this is magician Bill Peterson. Head to his website, aneveningofcloseupmagic.com, so that you can be sure to get in on all of these good happenings. And now, Bill, my very last question to you. What is there that you would like to say to the listeners of Articulation Radio that you've not yet had an opportunity to express?
Just, you know, there's so many opportunities to add a little bit of magic into your life, whether it's just a family night, whether it's your anniversary, whether it's Valentine's Day, whether, you know, it could be a corporate event or a fundraiser. But there's so many opportunities to add magic into your life, and it's a lot of fun. And you got to try it.
Yes, people, you do.
In fact, do you have a computer in front of you, Sage?
And no, I don't. Not that's
Okay.
on, but as a matter of fact, the main number here, because when he said you got to try it, people, and I'm like, you know what? Yes, we do. So as a special nugget to you guys, I'm going to add a little appendage to this interview. I'm going to go ahead and have him to send me something on the main phone line, that 312-899-6237, and we're going to see what's popping. So people, stay tuned for, I provided that cell phone number, that call in. Well, I gave him actually offline. I gave him my personal cell, so yes. So yes, go ahead.
So do you have a computer in front of you?
Not turned on, but I do have my personal cell here, that number that I gave you a moment ago offline.
Oh, and you can look at it.
Uh-huh.
Okay, excellent. So here's what I want you to do. We're going to have a little bit of fun, and we're going to play with some fire. All right?
Ooh.
So, Goddess Sage, here's what I want you to do. We're going to end up burning an imaginary deck of cards. Now, I've calculated it out. The International Space Station is 250 miles from here, and I know that you're further than that from me over the phone. So you could be literally in outer space, and hopefully I'd be able to make my magic work. So we're going to burn an imaginary deck of cards. I want you to strike that match, Goddess Sage, and there are numbered cards and picture cards. What would you like to burn?
Any card? I just pick any one card?
Well, there's numbered cards, there's cards with numbers on them, and there's cards with pictures on them. What group of cards would you like to burn?
Let's go ahead and burn those highest ones. Let's burn those picture cards.
Okay, you're going to set fire to them. They're now burning. Now, Sage, eventually you're going to be able to actually reach through the flames and save one, okay? Those picture cards are on fire. You've lit them on fire. Now, there's men and women, okay? There's jacks, queens, kings. Which do you want to burn, the men or the women?
You know what? Since we women usually have it to where eventually we start hot flashing anyway, and you men think that's the funniest thing, let's let you men catch a flash. Let's burn the men.
So the men, you're burnt them. We have just the ladies left that are on fire. The men have been destroyed. You're ruthless, Sage. Ruthless.
Boo
So the
for
ladies
male
are...
destruction. We could have at least saved one for me.
So you've got the four ladies, the four queens, the Queen of Hearts, Queen of Diamonds, Queen of Clubs, Queen of Spades. They're burning. But I told you you would be able to reach through the flames yourself and save one. I want you to do that now, Goddess Sage. I want you to reach through one of the queens. Which one will you save?
Got her.
Pardon?
I got it. Got my queen that I'm saving. Got her.
Which one? Tell us. Tell your listeners.
I have saved the Queen of Spades.
Okay. Goddess Sage, I want you to immediately go to my website where I posted a prediction specifically for that. It's aneveningofcloseupmagic.com/articulation radio.
Okay.
You said Queen of Spades?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go to that website. Did you go to Articulation Radio after it?
Oh, I'm still typing, and I have these nails. Wretched me.
Oh,
And
no problem.
closeupmagic.com
That's okay.
/articulation radio.
Yeah. All
right.
lowercase, all joined together. When you hit enter, it should take you to the page with the prediction that I created specifically for this show.
He created for the show was actually done on yesterday because I received a message from our point of contact and, mentioning this. And then again this morning, the point of contact sent another message regarding this. And, of course, I'm still waiting for my service to load. I would tell you all who it's with, but since it's still trying to load, some of you already like, oh, she got so and so. Yep, I got so and so.
So again, you've entered
me.
in an evening of close-up magic slash.
An evening. Yes.
Articulation radio. Has it loaded?
Yes.
Okay, play it.
I'm back in. This is crazy. Here, and you'll see him with the red drapes, and of course I'm pressing play. And people, so let's see here. He's about to flip around the card. He has it. That's the one you've chosen to save. And I don't know whether you all can hear this. Did you all hear this? I don't know whether you all heard that, but yes, indeed, my card was the very card. So when you go there, you're going to hear him put people an evening of closeupmagic.com/articulation radio. You will see that the very card I chose, and you even heard my rationale. Okay, so come on now, people. You want some of this, but no, you don't want some of this. You want all of this. So go ahead and make it happen and spread it around. An evening of closeupmagic.com with magician Bill Peterson. People, when you are told this is a world-class magic show that you can live stream for you and your group, oh, believe you me, you all are going to enjoy this. This is, so good. So good. Bill.
You enjoy that?
Why you got to do it like that? You cold-blooded, man. You're cold-blooded.
I wanted you to experience it live for yourself.
Yes, and I am so thankful for that. Yes, this people a real treat. He already gave you a lot of great advice during the interview in the first part, where you were able to see how you can even kick off and fulfill your dream of doing this very same thing. He even, of course, let you know that he can make it available, a personalized show for you and your group for any occasion, and he even does shows for schools. So you have a lot of options, people, No reason to say you're bored, don't have anything to do, you're tired of the same old, you want to do something special, don't know what to do. Here it is, an evening of close-up magic. So head on over to Bill's website, an evening of closeupmagic.com. Bill Peterson. Bill, what do you have next? What are you getting into next? Do you have an open show that people can sign up for? When is your next general public showing that people can get in on?
Honestly, they're very rare, just based on other
because everybody's
events,
demanding these private ones, and I don't blame them.
Well, like I said, I got two. I got one on Thursday. Well, I got 3 shows on Thursday, 3 shows on Friday for a school for 400 students. But and like I said, I did do an adult birthday, and it went perfectly well. They absolutely loved it. They were from in New York, but usually it's a private show. Public shows are pretty rare. I only do 2 or 3 a year, and you just have to go and check out the website periodically. But the best bet is to hire me for your own personal private event.
Very good. People, head on over to his website, check out those rates, go ahead and get your group of people together, and get ready for a real treat. Mr. Bill Peterson, we so thank you for coming on to Articulation Radio, and as you already know, you are welcome back here anytime you are ready to come back. We are always...
Would you like a motivational speaker to come to your company or organization to speak to your group? Visit lifespurposeministries.com. That's lifespurposeministries.com.
Articulation Radio thanks you so much for listening. So head on over right now to articulationmedia.club and let us know your thoughts on today's episode. In the meantime, we're going to keep the show rolling for you.
If you're looking for ghost writers, grant writers, technical writers, any kind of writers, go to the Writers Consortium. Their website is maryjefferson.us, MaryJefferson.us, the Writers Consortium, for all of your writing needs, proposals, grants, academic papers, whatever it is you dream of, ghostwriting. The Writers Consortium can help you achieve your goals.
3. Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, oh, 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 you tell me. He put his hands on me and kiss me tenderly, and help me say I'd give up anything that I possess just to have him reunite. Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic. I broke down and cried. I broke down and cried over you. But just like magic powder, it took one proof, and now I don't know what to do. Mr. Magic, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, yeah, where have you gone? Mr. Magic, yeah.
Are you single and seeking a lifestyle club that's centered around you? Go to sittingroom.xyz to register today. Sittingroom.xyz.
Weddings are expensive, but your love is worth it. Go to marryusnow.us. to book the Minister of Love to officiate your wedding today. The fee is only $200 if your wedding is in the city of Chicago, and there's only a small fee to get the Minister of Love to travel outside of Chicago to your wedding location. Book the Minister of Love today. Visit marryusnow.us. That's marryusnow.us.
The staff at Articulation Radio appreciates you so much for tuning in today, and I, Goddess Sage, especially appreciates you for tuning in. Be sure to, in the meantime, before you catch us on our next episode of Articulation Radio, do the things that you need to do to move forward with the things that you want to move forward on. No more excuses, okay? Keep being a doer, keep being a move maker, and keep being exemplary.